Hey, it's me, Clem Lightning, also known as the Lobster.
And it is me, Wyatt, not Lightning, the boy. And you're listening to A Lobster and His Boy. Bow, 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 bow. A Narnia reread podcast. We're going in publication order. We are now on our first movie episode. And if you haven't listened to the book one, it's much better. I'm assuming we haven't recorded this one, but I feel like it's more thought out. There's more research.
I don't know. I think essentially with this, if you haven't read the book, the Narnia book, you're fine. If you haven't seen the movie, or read the book, you might be a little bit more confused because we're not going to be as in detail about stuff because we are assuming that if you've made it this far, you have some knowledge. So if you're just dropping in,
Welcome.
hello, hi. And yeah, we're not going to be doing it chapter by chapter. I was going to write down time marks and I just forgot.
I thought about it, about trying to link up the chapters with the timing, but yeah, it just felt a little much. And there's also added scenes and like
Prolonged bits.
yeah, we start with something that doesn't exist. Like you were asking about, do we know like where the how the children get to this place?
Yeah.
And the book doesn't really tell you other than it was wartime and now they're here.
Yeah, which in this, I think at first I was like, this is completely different from the intro to the book. And then I thought more about as it went along and I thought, well, because the kids who were reading that book in that time would understand that. They don't need all
They
that
know what it
context.
means.
They don't need the extra trauma of something being described that they're living through or have lived through or their parents did, basically. So for this, I think it's great. Plus, we get to see their mom versus like her just being
Oh, mom. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
visual of someone they want to get home to.
Yeah, because there are no parents in Narnia. Like every child in these stories has parents, but I don't think
They're never really a part of the story.
not
they're
really.
they're always an anchor. They're always very important, of course. Like C.S. Lewis isn't saying parents aren't important.
No.
But yeah, it's a children's story about children. So
Yeah.
like there's not that many adults. Yeah, literally. I appreciated that they were giving the context because it's 2005.
Yeah. So, assuming that people haven't seen this sort of thing, and like
Edmund did kind of look excited though. It was weird.
He-
He was like, is it like maybe the first night? Are they not knowing what's
I think it's that confused fascination.
right? Because I mean it's not that close, but it's close.
Yeah, and I think I guess not because
he's
of
10.
how close they are. Because I don't know how regularly those areas were bombed, but yeah, he is only 10, and and like the mom pulls him away, and then
Yeah, and
Peter
closes the window.
yeah,
or
and like,
curtain.
Peter pulls him away too, and like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you see like Peter's first thing that he does is go to get Edmund. Like
Yeah.
the first thing he does in that situation is like
Yeah, like
is to his
literally
little brother.
the first thing you see is him being not the father role, but yeah, like he does the same thing the mom does, gets him away, and then what the mom doesn't do is he then immediately chastises him, and he was scared. He's scared,
Yeah, but he's just like
but it's
scolding
showing
him.
you right away. Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
he's in charge.
Yes, he's in charge of Edmund, and then the mom goes and gets Lucy, who's in bed, and like I was like I kind of paused it because I was like, "Where's Susan?" But you just see her a second later, so I assume that she's up and ready to go. Lucy's just scared.
Yeah,
And then
which also seems crazy that Susan wasn't gonna like. She's 12.
I mean, she might have been theoretically like
In the
just out
bathroom
of shot or like putting her coat on and stuff.
Because it wasn't like they were asleep. No, I guess they were in their PJs, right? The way I literally watched it today.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of pausing, and I was having some remote related issues, but because the beginning for me was really emotional because like when Edmund he goes back into the house, he yells "Dad" and runs
Yeah,
back and gets that picture and like definitely crying because then Peter like goes after him, and then a window breaks, I guess. Yeah, the window.
Yeah,
or,
a bomb drops like on the building nearby or next to them or in the street or something, and it shatters the window with the sonic power.
Yeah, and then
And
they
he
go.
protects him. He
Yeah.
dives down and he grabs Edmund and he saves him from what would have been probably a lot of glass in the face.
Yeah, and like, but also lets Edmund take the picture, and they when they get back there, like I think it's also important that the mom is not scolding him. She's just like trying to comfort him, but also she's not telling Peter to take it easy on him. And like his older brother, he's like, why can't you just do as you're told?
Yeah, why are you so selfish? Like,
Well, and also I think most parents hopefully can understand like a child wanting to grow up and do their own thing, be their own person. Whereas if you're a sibling who's taking on that sort of role, whether it's asked of you, forced on you, whatever, like it might be harder to let that person have their autonomy.
yeah.
Because Peter is only 13. He is still a child. And so for him, it's like he's projecting he's angry with Edmund because he's scared, because he's like, you are the most important thing to me. So like, I'm angry with you because you're making yourself unsafe.
There's nothing like a bond between brothers. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I don't know. But back then, I feel like it was like they're very paired. It's Edmund and Peter, and
Yeah, Pete and Ed, Sue and Lou.
I almost called her Lucen. Lucen and Susie.
Lucen.
Lucian?
That is a name. Well, I like how, like, and that's why I like how they give us that context, because they could have started their movie at the next scene, which would have also been fine, but it doesn't give us the same context. And like, they have their little Paddington Bear like tags of like where they're supposed to go. And yeah, I was like crying again. I think I just cried through this whole part, but like the mom says goodbye, and like it's like the promises that, or she like makes Peter promise to look after them, like all that we don't get in the book. All of that is just like it
Peter
humanizes.
has it, but
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not explained. It's
No.
not asked of him. Okay, so speaking before they disappear, do we want to talk about the casting of these four main characters that we are gonna see? Like, did they hold up? I have a very different, maybe, opinion than I think that you might have of like how they are in my head and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, no, go for it.
Because in my head they're like they're them. But also, I was only 8 when the movie came out, so I was like ample audience for this. Like, I was perfect.
Totally.
And so I think I might have even seen the movie first. I don't remember specifically. And
It's possible. Before that, do we want to take a quick pause? This episode is brought to you by Tumnus's Treasures. Are you looking for fabulous things to decorate your home, cave, or humble abode? Come on down to Tumnus's Treasures and see what you can find or scour.
come down to Tumnus's Treasures. We got treasures, oddities, crystals, books, horns, flutes, harmonicas, panpipes, anything you need at Tumnus's Treasures. 1-800-TREASURE.
Okay, so basically all this to say, the children are being sent away because the adults are awful. I wish in other countries and in other times of war and genocide, children were also spared for the crimes of adults, but that is for another podcast. This was a really sad part, like with the shots of all the other children that were leaving, and it seemed like a long train ride. Like this was like a Hogwarts
It was, I mean,
ride.
they left the station, and I just kind of realized that like this whole train is just full of children. There's no, I'm like gonna cry.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a train
and there's
full of children.
what, the oldest one is probably 15, because I feel like they were sending them out early.
Yeah, 16.
Like, maybe not. They might be, there might be some 17-year-olds in there, but I doubt it.
Nah, those
Like,
kids
these are
were
children,
going
but
off.
they were leaving the station, and there's another train like 2 tracks over, and it's a black train with a little red bumper, and it literally looks like the Hogwarts Express. I was like, oh, Hogwarts! And then they're driving, and they're going over that arched bridge with like the little arches in it that you also see in Chamber of Secrets. The montage did feel very Potter-esque, and it came out in 2005. It came out, when did the first movie come out? 2001? Yeah, 2001, Sorcerer's Stone. So
Right, 'cause I
4
was
years
12.
later, there's Narnia. And so it might have been a little Easter egg, a little cute homage with the Hogwarts Express-esque train parked there as they leave for this journey. And Even though I said just earlier that the casting, like, they're them for me, looking at it more objectively. Susan is supposed to be 12.
Yeah.
Like, she could be a little younger, but this is just a Hollywood issue, not a Narnia issue. Oh, notes for Greta. That Greta, she should cast children.
As the children.
As the children. Like, I want, maybe not 12, you know, the actress can be 13, 14, but not 19.
I mean, they were kids in the last one, weren't they?
I think they're kids. But
I mean,
they just look. Let me look it up. I didn't look it up.
Maybe the actor that played Peter was like 15 or 16. But yeah, I think it would be better to have them be 8, 10. But 8, 10, 12, and 13, is that how old they are?
8, 10, 12, 13, yeah. Her breakthrough came with playing Susan Pevensey 2005 to 2008, and she was born in 88. So
She's a year younger than I am. So in 2004?
In 2004, yeah, 2004 was probably when they filmed it,
So she was 16.
playing a 12-year-old. I mean,
Yeah, I think they should, it should be like it and like Stranger Things. They should actually be the age that they
yeah,
are.
because even Lucy, she might be a little old, but like I think she does do quite a good job. Because also Lucy is like very emotionally mature and like has a way of speaking. Because also it was written by a grown man, maybe, but like she
Yeah.
has a way of speaking that is not of most 8-year-olds I know. Maybe me, no.
Yeah, I think also like kid actors, I mean, they're better now. And in 2005, I mean, it's not that there weren't decent child actors. It's just that they were kind of few and far between, and most roles for kids were kind of goofy and silly,
Yeah.
with exception. But I think that it would be, yeah, it would just make more sense to actually cast people of appropriate ages. And I don't see any reason why Greta would steer away from that.
I don't think she would. I think that
Like, no one wants Sydney Sweeney playing Susan.
no. Oh my god.
Not at this age.
No. Then they finally arrive. They're like the last people to get off the train. Maybe not, but they have a lot of stops in some, you know, or maybe not a lot of stops. I mean, I'm sure they do, but they don't show it to us. But they get dropped in some dusty, like nothing.
Yeah, Coombe Halt.
Coombe Halt. And I loved the transitions in this movie are most of the time quite good. Like
Yeah.
some of them really good. And I liked this one with the train, and it goes like, and they're doing all this train montage, and then it just seems like another train to train transition, and then they're there.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called? Coombe.
Coombe, Coombe, Coombe Halt.
Coombe.
I don't know if you, if any of those vowels are more important or less important, but
I didn't look it up. I just figured it was some small village or something.
yeah.
And
Which, yeah, just somewhere far, far away from London, which like makes sense that they're going so far and it takes a long time because the idea is to get them to like where they think no one cares.
yeah, is safest. Oh, and they run up to the car. They're like so excited, and they're like, oh, and the car's not for them.
Yeah, and then they get picked up by a horse and cart, which I think is foreshadowing and also gives like the magician's nephew kind of energy. Maybe that was a direct thought, or maybe
Yes.
that was just like a, I don't know.
The whole beginning feels very magician's nephew. Like, don't talk to the professor when they get there. Like it just, but also that might just be the time. And yeah, Mrs. McCready, she shows up, and I kind of like, she seemed nicer in the movie than, I don't know, I didn't look up who the actress is. She didn't look familiar at all. Because she said, oh, this is all you have, or like, where's the rest of your stuff, kind of stuff.
Oh, and they're like, it's just us.
It's just us.
It's
and
just
she goes,
us. Oh,
small
yeah.
favors.
Elizabeth Hawthorne.
Elizabeth Hawthorne.
She's stunning.
Yeah, and she says small favors, and she like has like the littlest hint of a smile. It was giving McGonagall. It wasn't giving
Yeah.
Mrs. McCready like grumpy old
Yeah.
bitch.
No, it
which
was,
like also makes sense.
yeah,
Cause
it was giving like English stern. Like, that's just the way it is. But yeah.
and the beginning is pretty much the same once they get there. I liked the transition again. They're like, tomorrow's gonna be great. sharp cut to rain. Like, oh, it
Yeah.
was so good. And they're playing some stupid dictionary game that they were not playing in the book.
No.
And they're on G. You mean to tell me that Susan was going through every word in the fucking dictionary?
Well,
or maybe opening to a random?
I'd say, I mean,
'Cause-
maybe not every word, maybe like every letter, which at G, like, I mean, they're clearly bored at that
Bored
point.
as
And
fuck.
like the way and then,
Yeah, Peter's like, oh, but I thought we were having so much fun or whatever.
right. Well, yeah. And then Lucy's like, can we play hide and seek? And the way then he starts counting down, which at first I'm like, it's kind of condescending, but then it's also cute because
It's
like,
cute. He doesn't say yes. He just starts counting.
yeah. And then, like the music gets all like,
I love the music.
yeah, the music is great, which I'll mention that later on for different reasons. But like, of course, Lucy finds the room, which
I like this change that she finds it by herself.
this is exactly where I was. The music. Okay, so like
Yeah.
the weird fly in the window is giving The Exorcist. Like
I said it's like a fucking scary ass movie. It's
Literally.
like it's like Insidious or something where they're like playing hide and seek or the clap game and then it all goes wrong.
Yeah,
I
and,
was
like-
like, this is the moment where it all goes wrong.
and if the music was different when she pulls off that sheet, like I literally wrote like the music lets us know it isn't a horror film because it's like whimsical and like
Once she pulls the sheet, yeah, from the
Like-
silence to the sheet again, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, again, the music, it's so good.
it's still something's happening, but it's not like it's
Something
like-
bad is
yeah,
happening.
it's
Now
like-
you know something
not like, girl, you're in
adventurous is
danger.
happening.
But yeah, she also like she doesn't shut the door. But I think also like in the books, it takes her longer to get through the closet to Narnia. I do appreciate the 2 mothballs falling out. Like that was
Yeah,
a
the
good
little
nod.
tidbit.
But yeah, I feel like it's just like barely any coats, and then but bam, there's tree branches, there's snow. Versus in the book, it kind of I I don't know. I just envisioned it was a longer wardrobe. Yeah, or longer.
I just kind of assumed that she didn't move as quickly because she was in there to hide. And she just kind of shuffled,
Yeah,
and then she shuffled a little more.
like smelled the coat. I don't know. I feel like you open the wardrobe and then you could see the
See the
trees.
back.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
I was like,
'cause
no,
it's reachable. It's only like 2 feet.
but
But it's a wardrobe. How big could it really be?
that's true. Well, I don't know. Some of them are longer, but I mean, when she walks out into that snow, like I literally just wrote like Lucy is cute as a button, like this actress because.
So cute.
I don't remember if you got to talk about the characters and stuff. I don't like it's like Harry Potter at this point. Like I can't think of who else would play those. I think that those actors did a great job, and that actress who plays Lucy is so fucking cute. And
I agree.
Edmund with his little freckles,
Yeah.
like I have lots to
The
say
genes
about
in that
Edmund.
family are crazy though.
Oh, all of those children. Yeah, literally was like,
Blue
what is this, a
eyes,
fucking
brown
like,
eyes.
Benetton ad? Like they're all
Dark hair, light blonde hair, 2
Stunning
brunettes.
features, like,
yeah,
it's
so adorable, all of them.
Yeah.
I loved the freckles across all of them though, that they all had freckles. Peter only had like a couple little ones, but I thought I was like, there it is.
like a nod to like aging. Like
And
you-
just to jump ahead slightly, or very far, but Edmund gets told by somebody that he has the same nose as Lucy. And they do have very similar noses, the actor that plays Edmund and the actress that plays Lucy. And I hadn't really noticed it before or really noticed that line. And then when it's said, I was like, they do actually look kind of like siblings. Like those two look the most related, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, I think also like, I think it's there more like we need to have Peter and Susan look like siblings, and we need to have Edmund and Lucy look like siblings because of the age differences. Where it's like Lucy could age into looking like Susan, and Edmund could age into
Right.
looking like Peter. Versus like,
Totally. And they do.
I feel like we're in the casting session for the movie. But,
Yeah, we're still in casting. I mean, I kind of talked about it before, but I mean, I don't know. Should we not talk about it kind of as we go?
yeah,
they're,
it
like,
seems prudent.
introduced?
Well, if you more so you, because like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, and at the time it's like I was 16 when the movie came out, so I was 15 when they were making it, and I do not like the kid actors who were famous at then were like,
Oh, I've got no idea who should have been cast. Really, I don't know. I've got opinions about whether I think it was a good choice. I've got no answers to these problems. Only problems to point out.
well, chugging
Yeah.
right along. She's in Narnia but a second before there's noise, and she sees James McAvoy, I mean Mr. Tumnus, and they get freaked out by each other, and she hides behind the lamppost because she's shit at hide and seek, but she comes out first because he's clearly freaked the fuck out, and like she picks up his parcels to help him, and he's kind of like he tells her he's a fun, and she's like, I'm a human, and he's like, this is Narnia, and then what he says, like, Lucy Pevensey from the shining city of Wardrobe in the wondrous land of Spar-Oom.
Yeah, Spar-Oom.
Spar-Oom.
So cute. I said that like this probably could have been played by anybody, but I just love him in this role. I had the biggest crush on Mr. Tumnus as a kid.
Everybody did.
Just because, because of who it is.
Yeah, no, and that's...
And he's so sweet, and he's so baby boy.
Right, and I also love that when he is, like, the interaction in the book where it's, like, him inviting her over, it seems more sinister, and she's like, no, I don't want to, whereas this, like, it's much more friendly and innocent. He's like...
They, like, immediately become friends.
Yeah, where it doesn't seem as nice in the book, but also like
but they show it when she goes inside and he like turns around and has that look on his face.
Yeah,
it's like something is wrong.
Yeah,
maybe that spooky,
the eye contact during the flute music.
Oh my god, he is so scary with that goddamn flute.
It's like, one of those things where it's like, as a child scary, as an adult human, we'll get back to it, but where are these buckets of sardines he lied about? But like, it also, so like the fire dancing is cool, but like it seems like she is drugged and passes out, which is not what happens in the book.
It seems like he put something in her tea,
right? But then she wakes up from it and she's fine, which
she's totally fine,
which I think is good, because I don't want to see children being, I wish, like, I did put notes for Greta in this area. I think that they could make it seem more like she's falls asleep versus has a creepy hallucination and passes out.
Does she fall asleep in the book? I don't remember.
No, she doesn't. She almost falls. It's like she's like that little kid about to fall asleep.
And then because she's so smart, she goes, I should go.
Mm-hmm.
Not falling asleep for hours where it's daytime when she gets there and now it's nighttime.
Yeah.
And I think he was probably supposed to like give her to the queen when she was asleep. Because it makes it seem like he drugged her and that was his moment to turn her in, and then he doesn't, and then
because the lion roars in the flames, which like I think that might have been, and that could have been her breaking out of it, but like I feel like he is apologetic, but he isn't as much of a weenie in the movie, and like then the music is like dun 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 dun, and he's like,
it's scary, and then it's like intense and scary again. Versus,
and he's like, get out of here, get out of here. But then like when she comes back through the wardrobe and back into the door, Peter's
still counting.
Yeah, and he's like 3, 2, 1, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
I think I meant to go back and see because he's counting to 100, and he was on like 90 something when she goes into the wardrobe. Oh yeah. And I think he's on like 94, and then she comes out and he is on like 96 or something. So maybe like 1 second had passed, but that also could have been when she was in the wardrobe. We didn't hear those counts.
That's a good point. Because they're not, it's like, and it's one of those things where it's like, what if this world just pauses instead of,
because they just don't exist together, like they don't happen at the same time in the same place, so of course their times don't link up. I really liked that they showed that, though. They didn't tell you that no time had passed. I mean, they did later because it's the dialogue or whatever. But
they show you instead of just telling you.
Yeah, they showed you additionally, so you already know before she even spoils herself and says, "Well, I'm back." You know that no time has passed because Peter's still counting. Right. And it's like instantly you know something weird just happened. I loved it.
Yeah, and like and I also like in the book they there's the whole thing with her being like, I was here, blah blah blah, and days pass. I like that it's quicker. It's like
she runs away upset into the professor. The pacing is quite good in the film for now. Gets a little weird later, but
wait, no, like,
cause right,
the professor doesn't happen yet.
Oh yeah, that's after the second visit.
I'm glad I'm glad that I have my notes.
Yeah.
I also like I feel so much worse for movie Lucy because Edmund's such a turd, and like she's so cute, like just watching, and like she doesn't waste her time sulking, like looking at that like cool dual wick candle flame, like
Yeah.
she goes back, and like I like when she opens the cupboard, it's like the wind
And the
blows.
candle, again, like really good at showing.
Mm-hmm.
She opens the wardrobe and you immediately know that Narnia's back. Like she's able to go back.
Did you? And yeah, but Edmund sees her this time because I think he's coming out of the bathroom as she's going into the
He
room.
sees her walk down the hall. Yeah.
I didn't actually see him shut. Like it kind of seems like he shut the door of the wardrobe.
I couldn't really tell either. I didn't look out for it super intentionally.
Yeah.
But they definitely didn't make it as intentional of him shutting it as they did in the book.
Yeah.
And
like
there's much more sinister undertones in the music when Edmund arrives.
that's true.
It's
also,
definitely spooky.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know why, and like it just like seems like also I guess because like in the movie it's nighttime, he's in pajamas versus like when it happens in the book it's daytime and he wasn't in pajamas, he was just in regular summertime clothes. I think that's what was throwing me off. I was like, how far did he walk? And also, the queen addresses him in the book. The person moving the cart doesn't.
Yeah.
Because like we don't get that transition of her being mean and awful. We just get Tilda Swinton with dreads for some reason.
Yeah, not all dreads, just like one or two.
It's no,
yeah.
it's all dreads.
Is it?
Is
all?
it? Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
there was some like curls, but it looked like someone else's hair. Like literally, it looked like two different colors of blonde. Like
it was like the physical embodiment of a white person saying that Vikings had dreads. Like that's what that was.
It was.
I don't blame Tilda Swinton for any of these things that I may be criticizing her for. I think that she's perfect, and it was not a decision that she made. Also,
the ice crown though.
Yeah.
Sick.
10 out of 10. Also, in this one, the way that they I'm just gonna breeze through some stuff because I was like, we need to not be telling the whole story, even though I know we both want to. But like the way that the cup, when the dude throws the cup
and it turns back into snow,
I was like, that is like they again showing, not telling. I was like, that's perfect because for those people who know, it's like, yeah, that isn't the beverage. It's not Turkish delight. It's enchanted snow, and Lucy even when she eventually runs into him is like, you look sick.
Yeah,
and she knows.
Are you okay?
And she's all. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was gonna say, I mean, I'm going quickly, but I just was like, the queen is. I feel like she should have been bigger. They should have made her bigger somehow.
They do it later, but she's on some steps. But I saw the height difference then, and I wanted that height difference throughout the whole movie because she's supposed to be like 9 feet tall or something. She's supposed to be quite tall.
She doesn't have to be like Madame
Maxine
swatting
the chandelier.
No.
But he is lying, of course.
But that's kind of how I envisioned her. Like maybe not quite that big, but somewhere between her and a regular human woman, but still, beautiful. Like just a big, like a big ass beautiful woman.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know, Attack of the 90-foot woman. She was 50.
Yeah, I loved how it turned back to snow. But they just kind of leave after that. She's like, "Oh, Mr. Thomas is okay," and then they leave. And that's when he's extra shitty when they get back and lies and she cries.
Lucy's face when Edmund won't.
She's so cute about it. She's like, "Well, what were you doing there?" And even Susan kind of is like, "What were you doing?" Like Lucy just seems so lucid. Like it doesn't seem like she's playing pretend. And he's, "Oh, I was just playing along."
Yeah, poor Lucy. Like her face breaks my heart. But then she runs into fucking who else but Professor Slughorn.
Yeah, he's so good. I love him.
But then also like instead of talking to Edmund and Lucy, he talks to Susan and Peter about Edmund and Lucy.
He does that in the book.
I know, but that just seems like the wrong way to deal with the situation. This is just as somebody who cares about children and their growth.
You should just talk to them
as an adult.
Yeah, instead of talking to their caretakers, their older siblings.
But yeah, and he's super excited to hear about what they're saying.
Jim Broadbent is really good for this role because he knows how to give a little sparkle in his eye because he doesn't quite have it at the beginning. He has it for Lucy, and then they're talking, and it's whatever. He's regular. And then they say, they even say she, made up an imaginary world, and he doesn't have it. And then they say, in the wardrobe, in the spare room. And you just see it change in his eyes. And I'm like, oh, look at you
It's like,
go.
yeah, that movie, like, doo-doo.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
a
almost like
high-pitched flute.
animated. You can just see. Beautiful.
It's, yeah, no, it's mad. And then, like, on top of that, just also, like, being like, well, your sister hasn't lied before, so why would you assume that she's lying now? Especially because she's so upset, and, like, you're a family, so you should act like a family.
Just act like one.
Which is, like, all you need to say to Susan and Peter. And, like, I, again, really like these actors' portrayals because they are, like, they would do anything for their siblings, and it's nice to see.
Yeah, they throw this logically joke right here because Susan says something. Well, logically, that wouldn't, that can't happen. And he goes, well, logically, blah, 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 blah. And then later on, Peter says something and he goes, logically. I'm like, oh my gosh, shut the fuck up. Stop making fun of Susan for not believing. Like, you didn't either, Peter.
It is very playful, but, like, I mean,
it's a fun joke to have throughout the movie.
Yeah.
As, like, it makes her character. As she, but she's very Ravenclaw coded, like, logically.
But, yeah, so then it cuts to the next day, and they're outside playing cricket. For those of you who weren't sure what they're playing, it's a game called cricket that they play in England. And
spelled the same as the bug.
There's wickets, and there's who's a majigga whatsits, and there's bats and balls, and I don't understand it.
You got your wickets, you got your crickets. They throw it at you, and then you hit it, and you run. What, you like run back and forth between the posts as many times as you can, or something, before they get you.
Hi, welcome back to two Americans talking about it. Like, and the funniest thing about this is I've watched professional cricket game. I mean, but also, to be fair, I don't understand American football because I also don't care.
Yeah, when they're like, oh, turn it down in the...
It's like you throw... It's like I think the person behind you, instead of, like, trying to just, like, not have you hit the ball and have it go past you in baseball, they're trying to hit those little posts. There's, like, post things behind
trying
you.
To hit the post.
Those are the wickets, I think.
Okay.
And, like, but then you're trying to hit, like, the person at bat is trying to hit the ball.
Is it always supposed to bounce? I mean, it doesn't bounce the first time, does it? It just hits Edmund in the ramp.
Please call in for those of you who know about
if
cricket.
you're British, come talk to us.
If you're from the UK and you've got time today, please let us know, because I'm not going to look it up.
No,
but,
neither am I. I don't want to do that.
Anyway.
I don't want that in my search history. Be on some kind of list.
Oh, my God.
You're going to ask me to do sports.
Anyway.
I like, and then the ball goes and cracks through the window, which isn't what happens. And I like that they're running from her. It's just more playful.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they're in trouble instead of just running from her. But I loved it.
Yeah, because I was wondering how they were going to get shoved into that room again. But yeah, they go in there, and then I didn't see them shut the wardrobe this time either. But the one thing I will say is Peter apologizes almost instantly.
Actually, I think that it doesn't make note, but like Peter doesn't shut it because he's looking through the gap at the door, and they hear whatever jiggle,
right.
And then he says move back, and they all start to scoot
right, because
back.
they see the handle start to lift up. So yeah, and then Lucy is very gracious, and she also has a great snowball arm. I personally wouldn't enjoy getting hit in the face, but also because that's okay, maybe it's very soft snow,
powdery, beautiful snow,
which
but it's the witch's snow, so no, it's not. It's icy and cold and harsh.
But it wouldn't be now because
they're here. Yeah.
So, and then Lucy's just like, some little children just don't know when to stop pretending.
She's so sassy.
But at Edmund, and it's like, yeah, quit pretending, and like he's just like a skunk, like he immediately tries to take him to the queen, which is like so gross.
Well, maybe we should wander around a little bit.
And then like Peter gives him a girl's coat because women are inferior.
The sickest coat though.
It is.
It's the coolest coat.
And it's also
the warmest.
It was a different color. Like they're all wearing brown. And he's wearing black. But like, yeah, they get to Thomas's house. It's kicked in. It's much sadder with the visuals. But like, instead of the bird taking them on a journey, the bird just like. Like gets them to go outside where they meet Mr. Beaver.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Because they add enough tension in other moments that we don't need it right now. But I did notice as they were like going and doing the Mr. Tumnus shots and stuff of his house, I was like, this is just filmed really well. Like these are really good shots. They don't make movies like this anymore. Like they do things more whatever, symmetrical, or I feel like there's just like more, this felt more Lord of the Rings-esque or whatever.
Oh
It
yeah.
felt very cinematic, even though it's like a cave, like a hole in the ground, and it was just like,
I think it's the angles, because like they made it look more natural. It wasn't as finished or as polished, because like why would a creature have like a perfectly smooth out house?
I love his house design.
It's super
I would
cute.
live there
And like
any day of the week.
one thing I noticed is when Edmund first points out the mountain to them, and when he also looks at it again later, both times you can tell that there's not as much snow, because like when
On
they
the
first
caps.
the first time they see it in the evening time, there's not as much snow, and then they see it again in the day and there's not as much snow. When you first see it at the very beginning, it's completely snow covered.
Yeah.
So like it is, I don't feel like it melts as quickly in the movie as it does until a certain point, but
And
like
then it melts quick. But
then like yeah, the whole thing with Mr. Beaver, he's totally rude to them for not knowing what they're supposed to do, and in the book he's the one who explains all this to him. So
yeah, and he still kind of explains it, but yeah, he's not as nice. He's cute and he's funny at moments, but he's not as nice.
and then they go to the castle.
Yeah, that was weird. They
Yeah.
like run after him, and
Which
then
is-
they're able to get back to the house,
And they
and
see
then
him
they
go
pack.
in.
Yeah, so like there's
That
no
does not
time.
happen.
Well, I mean that they do cut that. There is no time.
Yeah.
But she says, "Oh, we got fish and chips," and the chips are wood chips. They're little pieces of wood with like sardines or what the fuck. Ugh,
Right, 'cause the
so,
beavers. That's so cute. Yeah. And like when Ed's, but like I think I understand, like they could have shown us Edmund going into the castle and mesh that up, instead of doing like, here's what's happening here versus there's what's happening there, because it's easier to do in a film versus a book. But it was unnecessary, I think, for them to
run after him and know where he's going and get to the castle.
yeah, because like we still could have believed this was all happening within the same time frame, but like we're already seeing Edmund with the stone creatures, and I don't think he knows that they were real.
I don't think so either. And I didn't really see a lion, and then he does draw on a big cat, but it looks like maybe it's like a lioness. Or
He just does it in the snow, though.
A mountain lion. No, there's a fire's
is there? Okay.
place, and he grabs the stick and he draws on it. But I mean, whatever. I was like, it doesn't really matter.
No, I mean, like,
But it
for
was interesting
comparing.
that it wasn't the first creature you see is the giant Rumblebuffin, which we don't know or ever find out his name. But then yeah, you eventually see this big cat.
And like the wolf sounded familiar. I didn't look it up, but Edmund sits on the queen's throne,
Yeah.
which does not happen in the book. And the
No.
book queen, Jadis, would have
She would
obliterated him
literally
on
kill him.
sight. She wouldn't have even cared.
Yeah, she'd be like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" It would have said, "What the fuck" in the book.
Yeah. And I think also because like in the book you don't see the duality of her. You just see her being like nice, because I think it's harder to believe that a child would want to go see her if like if I don't know, if the audience had seen how crappy she is.
Yeah. I also thought, I didn't write down his name, but I thought that the wolf, Malgrim, he sounded like the saber-toothed tiger from Ice Age. I was like, oh my god, it's totally the same guy. It was not the same guy.
No.
I don't remember either of their names, but I did look it up because I
Isn't
was
it Viggo
hopeful.
Morrison?
I don't remember. I literally just...
Please hold.
We appreciate your call. You are very important to us. Also, fuck you.
Dennis Leary. Oh, okay.
I don't know who that is.
It's the
Anyway. Yeah, it wasn't him. Oh, there's some dogs barking. Some wolves howling in the...
oh, hey.
That was
He's
good.
a sea wolf in the closet. Oh.
They gave Mrs. Beaver's funny food line to Susan, which doesn't make any sense.
No, she is still a legend in this
Totally.
movie.
I mean, you said it's played by who?
Dawn French.
Dawn French.
Fucking legend.
Legend. She is a legend.
Legend in a legend in a legend.
And she's so cute.
And then this also doesn't happen. The wolves almost get them and in the beaver's house, which
Well, that's
doesn't
because
happen.
they fucking went to the castle and they missed out on that 20 minutes, which is crazy because they say it's a mile away and there's no way. They ran through the snow 2 miles there and back. in
Uphill both
15
ways.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way with those fur coats, all that crap.
And then they go into a tunnel under the house that the beavers dug, and I'm like, okay, sure, but also like, why would the beavers make like tunnels under the house that are big enough for humans, big enough for beavers, and maybe to carry some stuff? Sure, but there's no way they would have been able to stand upright.
Well, how big is a badger? Because the badger helped him. It's a tunnel to his best friend Badger's house.
Well, the only time we really see Badger
Is when he's...
is a little bit later, so
Yeah.
we'll get to that. But I mean, well, I guess we see him in a minute. But
Yeah,
like,
they
oh
go
no,
to the
they
end of
yeah,
the tunnel.
literally, yeah, they go outside and they see that the Badger and all of them
And
have,
the Stone family that we see much later, like the Stone family of critters that she turns,
right.
is now. It's like, when did she come here and when did she get them? Like, what?
we need more urgency for these characters, but
Yeah, it makes
and
it very dire.
I heard the fox started to speak, and I was like, I know this voice. I've heard this voice my whole life, and it's because I grew up watching. My favorite movie was My Best Friend's Wedding, and it's Rupert Everett who does the voice of the fox.
Okay.
I really love that.
The voice was also familiar, and this is another one I looked up because I thought it was Matthew Thulis, Ramus Lupin.
I thought it was Jude Law at first.
Okay.
Which I think all of those
Yeah.
would have been
there's,
great.
There's just like a little. It's interesting because I do want to say like wiriness to their voice, like.
I thought it could almost be Kenneth Branagh for a minute because just people, like, not necessarily people who've been in Harry Potter movies, but English actors whose voices are recognizable. But
It seems like a great, like, that's how you do a little cameo. You just have them be the animated character and they get to do a voice, and they don't even really have to do a voice, it's just their voice.
yeah, like, because they did the story differently, now they have to introduce a character that doesn't actually, like, this doesn't happen.
This character doesn't have an arc at all.
Well, then it also cuts back to the castle where Ed is chained up, which does happen in the book, but Mr. Tumnus is there.
Isn't turned to stone.
Which, how long has he been in there at this point?
Weeks, months.
Exactly, yeah, because he can't even walk, and there's like...
Yeah, he's so sore and cold with those shackles on his hooves.
And like, he says the name Aslan, like, or Ed says the name Aslan, which prevents the queen from killing him because, like, the story stops her in her tracks. But because he gets, like, a stare from Tumnus, he doesn't tell her about the stone table.
Yeah, he doesn't
And
say
they
where.
smash his little hooves.
Well, they're hitting. It's like a metal nail through the hole, and it's like widened, and so he probably is smashing his hooves, but he's hitting the nail out the other end of the shackle, but just doing it quite rough. And his hooves are sore and probably chafed and awful from the cold and the shackles and not eating enough and not drinking. Because doesn't Edmund give him something to eat?
He gives him the bread that he doesn't want.
Mm-hmm.
But then the queen is just, she's like, do you know why you're imprisoned? And then he's like, because I believe in Free Narnia. And she's like, no, because of him. And the way he looks at Edmund, but then also the way that Edmund,
he gets such a better redemption arc.
He does.
Because he also gets to feel bad about his actions. They don't let him feel bad in the books. Because it's just like, go, scared for your life. The witch is going to fucking turn you to stone if you don't listen to her. He doesn't have time to process shit. But here, he's in the cage for a little longer with Tumnus. If he was by himself, he was just sulking. But Tumnus is there and it changes everything. Because he's so sweet.
I know.
And he didn't do anything wrong. And I think he looks at Tumnus and he sees Lucy. Because Tumnus asks, like, you're Lucy's brother, and this is the moment he says you have the same nose.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And I think, and
that also grounds Edmund. He's like, with his siblings, with his family, like, and he goes, is she safe? Is she okay? He knows that she sent those fucking wolves to the beaver's house. And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he really feels the betrayal of his family for the first time right then. And then again, like minutes later with the Aslan.
I think it's definitely to humanize Edmund's character more, because otherwise it would be harder to do this. But then there's this whole thing where they're walking across a frozen river, which does not happen.
Yeah, as it melts, it just like totally
or
happens.
it's just frozen at first because then they meet Santa.
Oh yeah,
whose outfit is amazing.
I loved this Father Christmas. He's like
so
classic,
crisp.
like early 90s Father Christmas. Not Santa, Father Christmas, you always see him in like the red and the green, and it's just like regular kind of clothes.
It's
but
more like maroony
Oh,
purple.
I loved it. And
like
then they all
Renaissance
get that
Santa.
like nice red leather straps for all their stuff. It looks beautiful. And
Yeah.
Peter's sword has an inscription on it that's not in the books, and it's
That little
just
clicky thingy.
it's just the other part of the prophecy that they don't tell them, because they tell them the regular prophecy, and they even point out that it doesn't rhyme, and it's kind of funny.
But also Lucy gets her present first.
I love that Lucy got her gift first.
And like the whole reason but like he tells her that battling isn't great, not because she's a girl but because
Just battles are ugly.
She's just
You're a
because
child.
but then when it comes to Susan, he doesn't give her the same restrictions as, because the book Santa is definitely sexist, whereas this Santa is like, no, you can handle it. It's just like Lucy
and
doesn't.
I love it because he hands her the bow and she goes, "What happened to battles are ugly?" And he just kind of smiles. He doesn't say anything. And then he's like, "Though you don't have a problem making yourself heard," which is kind of shady at what she just said.
Right.
But also it's a compliment. And then the horn. And he says it will it will help. It will bring help. Help will come. Not I think this like, ooh, maybe. But love how Lucy gets her gift first. Like, she is the main character. She's the one who
100%.
discovered Narnia. She's the one who has the knowledge. She's like
She's the girl.
The girl who believes.
She's the final girl.
Yeah.
I guess they're all final, but I think also like in this moment it'd be like, all right, children, well, I got to get out of here, but while I'm here, why don't I take you all to the stone table?
Yeah, on my super quick sled.
But instead, I'm gonna let you go across this melting river.
Oh, but real quick, the thing that's inscribed on his sword
yes, please.
is, I mean, I think we talked about it in the book episode, but it's when Aslan shakes his mane, Narnia shall know spring again. And then on the other side, it says, when Aslan bares his teeth, winter meets its death. These prophecies don't rhyme. Like, none of them do.
No.
And I love that Susan points it out when they're back at the Beavers, like the earlier. Right now, after they leave Santa, they go on this melting river and the wolves find them, and it's like it's really building Peter and Malgrim up to be kind of rivals. There we go. That's the word I want. Like, instead of just, any old thing, like Peter is getting his first villain arc kind of stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like it isn't the river breaking, like it does make it more interesting. And the crossing of the river is giving Bible energy, but also like the part where like the wolf would have like killed the beaver instantly. Like,
oh yeah, there's no point in keeping it alive.
But yeah, like the ice wall is like incredible visually. That was great. And in my head at first, I was like, well, when they die from that temperature, but Narnia is melting at a rapid rate now versus
rapid.
Like as soon as Santa goes, it's like quadruple time, and it's
they don't
like,
have a third winter like us up here.
No, this is like global warming energy. And then like when we get to the shore, and then like you think they think
more
they lost
tension.
They think they lost Lucy, and Susan says, "What have you done to Peter?" Like he killed,
threw her off the fucking iceberg.
Like they didn't
he
just get
had that sword stabbed in there, all cinematic, and it reminded me of something. I couldn't place it, but like him with that hand,
the sword in the stone.
Kind of, it was a little sword in the stony.
It was giving Camelot.
And he had a grip on Lucy's coat. It's because they're adult jackets, and she is 8 years old. So it didn't really fit her, and she slipped out. It's not his fault.
Also, why didn't Susan wrap her body around Lucy and Peter and hold them all in?
Yeah, Lucy should have been in the middle.
Yeah, wait, did I say Susan? Yeah, Lucy should have been in the middle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You said that.
Okay.
In a different... Yeah, they're both at fault for losing this little girl, and then it's fine.
Yeah, and then it's springtime, and they've full on ditched their coats. Like, it's warm. Like, you watch, like, the buds on the trees blooming, like, super fast.
Again, and the beavers, I feel like they don't say anything. Like, they might, like, oh, it's nice, but they don't necessarily, in the books, it's like, your presence here is destroying the witch's curse,
I think
they say that in the Father Christmas.
They do, and so I think it's like they don't need to say it again,
because it's nice. They show us the jackets are now hanging on the branch, and they're walking away from them.
Yeah,
like they're moving on to the next season. It's very cinematic. It's very whoa.
Yeah, it's super.
love
It's
it.
super beautiful, and then
It's
it
a very beautiful film.
and I like that because they have the brightness and the colors, and then whenever it cuts to like the White Witch and her people, it's always like spooky and dark, and it's like, Edmund
Oh, like in the
with the fox,
Mm-hmm.
and like the fox is full on. It's giving Severus Snape.
Yeah, he knew Aslan. He met Aslan face to face. He tells them that he himself is recruiting people for Aslan. Like, they thought he was some bitch, and he's like, no, I'm that bitch.
Right, and then he refers to Edmund as Your Majesty.
Oh, it's so good.
and the Queen's like,
Yeah, not to be rude, but I wasn't talking to you.
and like of course, Edmund tries to spare the fox, which
Same way he does with the little family in
Yeah.
the book.
but like it doesn't work because the Queen turns the fox to stone. But like the Queen knew about the stone, like she knew all in the book. She knows all this, so it's not like the fox had information to give away. The Queen knew this at this point.
Yeah.
So and then it cuts back to the other kids at the camp, which like that whole camp, that energy, them walking in, seeing all the characters, it's giving Willow.
It was, yeah.
100%. Why does Peter draw his sword out like that?
I don't know. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then they gave all the centaurs those like weird jaw, like cheek prosthetic things to make their
Yeah.
faces wider. I don't know. It was strange.
Like, why couldn't they just do like in Harry Potter where they're just
People
horses?
on top. I didn't
Yeah.
really get why they had to look different. I like that they do like Mr. Thomas's nose and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just a little different, a little more animalistic, but like
No, they gave them like weird LA dentist work,
Yeah,
like Snape faces or
Ew.
Voldemort faces. Excuse me.
I love how Aslan looks. Like, I love that they don't make him all humanoid, standing on his hind legs.
No, Aslan looked amazing, and he started talking, and I was like, "Is that fucking Liam Neeson?" Liam Neeson, excuse me.
You took my daughter.
He's got a particular set of skills, and that's another thing: is why did he have to be English? Why couldn't he have been Irish?
He could have been anything.
Why can't Aslan be Irish?
Why can't he be American?
My name is
My
Aslan.
name's Aslan.
Howdy. Essentially, like, this is another good representation of like the duality, because like seeing Aslan, like
He's almost like glowing.
yeah, and like he talks about care Paraval, which I did also write out phonetically because I cannot remember it. But then it cuts back to like the witches' camp, and it's spooky.
Yeah,
they
they're
did
like
a
in
good
some
job.
weird dark part of the forest, and the trees are all gnarled and like burned or something, and like
Yeah.
it looks like a fucking cursed forest.
Yeah,
Which is crazy because in the book they're like pretty close to the stone like to where Aslan's camp in it, and of course they are because
it's like a dust cloud of spookiness is like the way I look
literally
at
she
it.
carries it around with
Yeah,
her.
and then it cuts to like this a scene that we don't actually get to see, but does actually happen theoretically, where like we see Sue and Lou splashing around in the water together, and
I love it so
it's
much.
it's really great for
Oh.
character building, and also just like because a lot of the like this whole story is about children, yeah, but it's about siblings and the love that they have for each other and how much they care about each other. And like I assume for most people, when you're a child and you have siblings, you love and you care about each other. I have
So cute.
a great appreciation for this scene because I don't have an older sister, and I imagine that that would have been really magical. And so like they have this really cute moment where Lucy tells Susan that she got boring.
Yeah, Susan's like, oh, like, I'm sorry for the way that I am. Because Lucy's like, we should bring a dress back for Mom, a whole trunk load. And
Yeah.
she's like, if we ever get back. And then she's like, sorry, I'm like this. Like, sorry, I suck, basically. She's like,
Yeah.
we used to have fun.
Yeah.
And Lucy is like, yeah, you
And-
got boring.
Right. And it's like,
But it's cute. She's
Yeah.
like forgiving her in that
Yeah.
tease. She's like, I don't care. Like, you just got boring. Like, whatever.
yeah. And then Susan splashes her, as if to be like, I'm not boring. And it's
Yeah.
very sweet and tender, but then also gives prudence to what happens, which is, one of the wolves, the wolf who almost got them before the ice broke, all of a sudden is there. And somehow Susan is able to not only climb up a tree before the wolf gets her or Lucy, she also is able to grab her horn, which she has time to look over at.
Yeah.
and they
It's-
cut to her. They
Because
cut.
it's like she's ripping down a sheet or something that's hanging in the wind, and it's like right there. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
you're
they're kinda
dead
like-
now.
yeah, it's like whip towel.
It gotcha.
But then, and then you hear like the horn, and Peter comes over.
Running from who knows where.
Yeah, and then like the Aslan and the crew show, because I was like, okay, so this isn't going to be Aslan forcing Peter to do something. But then Aslan and the whole crew come, waiting to help Peter, and Aslan's like, no, this is his battle.
And is this? I should have looked it up. This is Malgrim, right? This is the same voice actor the whole time.
Yes, yeah,
So,
because
like,
he's following them.
yeah, in the book, I don't think that it's him. I think that in the book, it's just
A random
wolf.
Which makes it seem more likely that Aslan made that
Yeah,
situation
but this
happen.
is the chief. This is like the lieutenant of the witch.
Yeah.
High up. The chief of all the wolves. The alpha. Like, nuh-uh.
Which I think they did because they couldn't find an explanation for why that happens, because I think it was, I mean, screenwriters who wrote this, if you want to hit us up, give us a call, tweet us, scream at us. But like, it just seems like because they couldn't rationalize why Aslan would have done that. Whereas like, for me, I think it's because Aslan conjured that lion to give Peter that experience so he would be ready.
Yeah, because the lion doesn't say anything. It's just
No.
like a lion. Regular old.
Yeah. There's nothing about like, and the lion or the wolf like jumps on top of Peter's sword.
Yeah.
And then Aslan lets the other wolf go, and then he's like, "Go find Edmund." And then he like, but then you don't like see the wolf's body anymore. It's just gone, and like,
yeah.
there's no blood on the sword. There's nothing about cleaning
Yeah,
your blade.
he says clean your blade.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, it's very quick, and then it just cuts to the clean blade, and Peter's like on one knee or whatever, and the blade's like in the little grass.
And then this whole part is very quick.
My next note is, well, this is supposed to say I think Edmund gets a better redemption arc in the movie, which I think I already said, but this autocorrected to I think Zeffirelli gets a better redemption arc. Who the fuck is Zeffirelli?
You know,
Capital Z, it capitalized it.
Zeffirelli, night and day. It's Zeffirelli. It's the pasta. It's lasagna. I don't think it is. Anyway, so they don't. They're really like. There's nothing like we know that Aslan has the chat with Edmund, but they don't give us that, which we don't really get in the book anyway.
We don't get in the book, but we get a lot of other chats with Aslan and such that we don't get in the book. So I kind of wish that could have been one of them. Ooh,
Yeah.
notes
like-
for Greta.
Well, and also like the Peter is initially cold. Like, and this is like again Narnia emotions, where it's like Peter's kind of cold to Edmund at first, whereas Susan and Lucy are really glad he's back.
Yeah, they both give him a hug.
And neither Susan nor Lucy says anything to Peter when he tells him to go get some rest. But then he makes like that cute quip about like, don't wander off or whatever.
Yeah, they make a lot of like, this is probably just a British thing. Instead of just saying that you're glad they're back, they're
Yeah.
like, make a quip or like kind of tease you. But this also could be just this family.
I mean,
Because like,
no,
yeah,
it's
I
an-
mean,
it's
I
an English
tease,
thing.
siblings. I tease siblings. I tease my siblings and things like that. And totally did growing up. But
It just
I don't think I used it as a things are back to normal as much as we see these children do, as like an unspoken, like everything's okay now because I'm making jokes.
well, Aslan like tells them, he's like, there's no reason, like we've already discussed
Yeah.
it. We don't need to discuss it anymore.
I discussed it with your brother, so you don't have to. Like, but that's my brother.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things. I think he meant in terms of like, why did you do that? I don't.
Like, it doesn't matter anymore because he's back. Yeah,
I think also because
because he regrets it,
And
and
they-
we know he regrets it.
Yeah, and Susan and Peter probably might have scolded him a bit about it. And it's like, I think also Aslan's taking the power back there and giving Edmund his autonomy, because it's like when you're 10,
Yeah,
you are much more of a person and are much more, and you don't want to follow those rules that there's a few years older than you. What more could they possibly know? Like,
and
They
we
can-
know he feels bad. It's
Yeah.
like
you can dial,
Aslan's like, you don't have to.
you can
Like,
dial
he
911 a little bit better.
He already feels bad. Like, he knows better than you know what his betrayal did. Like, because I'm sure Edmund told him everything, like everything that he saw and everything that she did to him. And in the movie, it's kind of worse to a degree.
Yeah.
Like, he sees more stuff. And although like her turning the whole family with the women and children, animals, is awful. Like, there is something about the fox, I think, because of what we know as the audience, because of what he's done and who he is.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, Edmund gets has a better redemption arc in this one. And then like they give us this, part that doesn't happen in the book, but like Susan is already like they have a little like practice and Susan's decent with her bow and like Lucy's like gets a bullseye throwing a dagger for the first
They
time.
don't show us her throwing the dagger, but they show the dagger go into the bullseye, which I understand because there's no way that little girl can throw a knife that far.
Okay, it is Lucy though.
Yeah, she's got a lot of little anger in that little badger body.
She's definitely a fire sign.
And then it cuts to like Peter and Edmund, and Peter's on a unicorn.
Yeah.
I hate that, personally. I hate that. You're gonna ride a unicorn like one of the purest. That P was really peeing. Let me just say a couple more while I'm at it.
Poppin'? Your peas are poppin'?
Yeah, I don't really like it. This is like a pure being, a unicorn, and you're gonna throw some armor on it and take it into battle to kill things?
What about how are unicorns more noble than horses?
I'm not saying that a unicorn is more noble than a horse.
Well, I guess I'm not saying that horses are either.
But like a unicorn is like a magically pure being, right? In like most mythologies.
But unicorn or horses in Narnia are still, I don't know. I feel like
maybe in Narnia, a horse and a unicorn are on much similar levels. Okay.
I think in any other world you would 100% be right, but I feel like in Narnia,
yeah, okay,
everyone's equal.
I agree. Okay,
unless you're Aslan.
I changed it. Even though the unicorn doesn't get to talk, but Philip gets to talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Philip also was giving me BoJack Horseman.
Oh my god.
Like, I also didn't look up the actor. I know that it's not the same one, but he kind of sounded like BoJack.
Notes for Greta, please get I almost said David Arnett. Please get Will Arnett to play a horse in the movie.
Oh my god. It doesn't have to be Philip. It could be anybody. You could do a horse and his boy, and it could be that horse.
Who's gonna play Aslan for this one?
Are we jumping into casting?
We can or just
well,
things to
we
think
don't
about.
we don't have a real list, so I guess we could just fan cast
if you
Aslan.
just think of that. But like so in the book the kids go to sleep and the girls can't sleep and then they get up and they
well, at least Lucy can't sleep.
Right.
They after the witch comes and they have their little chitty chat.
Right, which they do in a tent.
Yeah, they do in the tent.
They don't
and
go
her
on a walk.
ice crown is shorter because it's melting.
Right. And he says witch like there's supposed to be a bee there.
Yeah, it's so good. I have no more ice crown, bitch. It's springtime.
This is when I was like, how is there still an hour left in this movie? Because at this
it
point in the
was
book,
crazy.
this is like wrapping up the book.
Yeah, we're on like the second to last chapter.
Yeah.
Penultimate, baby. I wish she had some like icy steps with her because she seems like pissed.
Yeah.
I wish that like the grass froze beneath her feet or something.
She's no
like,
Elsa.
Yeah, I'm giving her too much.
Jadis wishes. She could never. She could never.
She's too wimpy.
She could never let it go.
Again, I agree. The snow was just a thing that she clung to. It wasn't like her thing.
Yeah. I also so like Susan and
can't
Lou.
sleep.
Yeah, but like they're in full armor when they go versus like in their nighttime attire.
In their like daytime dresses, the shit that they were wearing at dinner time. And then on their way outside of the tent and around the tent, they're able to grab their shit and grab the bow and arrow and all their crap like right away, which is honestly, I'm impressed. Like they're ready for battle. They got ready quick as fuck.
I mean, you never know.
Or Aslan was just walking really, really slow.
I mean, yeah, he's sauntering off to his death, but
yeah, he doesn't want to go that quick.
I feel like when we read through the book, when I read through the scene, at the stone table, all the creatures and stuff, not that spooky. Watching it, it was giving me like modern Night on Bald Mountain, and like those like the creatures that support like the White Witch who like carry her around. Like, what are those? They're so creepy.
I don't know. The ones with the beaks, or
the ones that are like that like. or like support her.
Yeah.
Or no, like, or
With
no.
the
Well, those things are weird. Yeah, what are those? And then also just like all the creatures that are surrounding her are spooky.
yeah, there's like small little weird like slimy looking shapes that are like creatures. It's so
and like that
strange.
bat thing, which like they're jeering Aslan, but then when he actually like
Yeah, it looks
confronts
like a
them,
harpy or something.
they're totally terrified.
Yeah. Once they make eye contact with him, like it gets scared and it flies away.
And I'm sure the animators just were like, yeah, let's just drop every like spooky folklore
It's
creature.
insane. And also like, are these all natural to Narnia? I don't understand. Like I understand, giants, sure, the minotaurs, like those types of things. I guess I don't know where the line would be. But small, oobleck, living, sharp-toothed, like eyeless, weird things. Like who made that?
I mean,
don't
maybe she did, and like
I
maybe
feel
they
like that's what it is.
maybe they
like,
came there out of the lack of the presence or
of
whatever.
evil, yeah.
And like honestly, I was kind of disassociating at this point because this is such a long movie, and especially because they were drawing out things that I felt needn't be drawn out. But
Yeah.
the whole thing, the shaving of the mane and like the mushkas, and I think also I was trying not to pay attention because I was like, yeah, this part's sad.
Yeah.
Um,
Lucy didn't look away.
no, she did not.
She makes eye contact with Aslan and watches him die. And Jadis has her little speech thing. I didn't even write a note about it because we talk about it. Huh?
I didn't write it either.
Yeah,
and
I
then,
kind of skip over. I just said like Lucy doesn't turn away. It's like
Lucy
basically my whole
doesn't turn
note.
away. Like the message on the trees, though. That
I
they
love
send.
that. They're like, we need to send message.
Yeah, I was like,
And
that does not happen.
no,
in the
and
book.
Lucy like has some connection with the little flower petal things, the naiads.
Yeah.
'Cause dryads are the river, I think.
Oh, look at you.
But I don't
Look at
remember
you
totally.
knowing
I think
things.
so.
Yeah, and I think one thing I also like is the White Witch, like her crown, how it's melting, and then when they move a little bit farther ahead to the battle scene, her hair will change again. But before that happens, they send the message, the whisper in the flowers or the petals that wake up Edmund and Peter, letting them know Aslan's dead, and so they're like, all right, let's
get ready.
let's go.
Which is smart, because in the book they're just like, well, we'll let them, they sleep, and then sometime, and then the battle.
Which they're going to do. I think it was like they didn't want them to know because it's like it'd be harder to go into battle knowing that, the cause is gone. What do you do when God dies? Then it surprise, 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 surprise. Aslan is not dead. The great stone table crickety cracks in half. What's that? Stone Table Pizza. This episode is brought to you by Stone Table Pizza. Do you want pizza that's ancient, magical, full of secrets, that's been cultivating in our kitchens since the dawn of time? Stone Table Pizza. Be sure to get your Narnia knots with different dipping sauces.
Thank you so much, Stone Table Pizza.
All right, so I really want Stone Table Pizza now. Too bad it doesn't exist. So Aslan is fine. And he's like, climb on my back, giving Falkor energy, and they go to the witch's castle where she is no longer, but all the stone figurines are. So the way that the way that they talk about Aslan breathing on the stone figurines and they reanimate seemed very instantaneous in the book, but the way that it happens in the movie is slow
It
and
almost seems painful.
yeah, it's horrific. And I'm like, like when she turns into stone, it's like ba-bam.
Boom.
But when it happens, it's like they're unmelting.
Yeah. And we get to see the beginning of the battle, which is like happening simultaneously.
Yeah, which is giving Lord of the Rings.
It's so good. The way the music like fades to the heartbeats, and then the heartbeats fade to the silence.
I'm like, was this just
And
such
then
an
they
expensive
clash?
scene that you had to make it longer?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a great scene, but it doesn't need to happen. But I do love it. Because it's giving Lord of the Rings, but in Narnia.
And in this battle, I literally took no notes on this battle because I didn't give a shit. In the book the queen? She doesn't stab Edmund, does she?
No,
that's what I thought.
I think he might get stabbed by something. He's wounded and he looks green or whatever.
Right.
But she doesn't stab him.
I didn't think
It's
so.
Insane. And without this movie, though, we wouldn't have Narnia, for Aslan.
Which I have shouted so many times at inappropriate moments.
But yeah, I love how flashback to the castle. I love how they do change Mr. Tumnus first,
Flashback
because
to
there's
the
no
castle.
importance to the cat that he drew on with the charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't mean anything anymore. So
Yeah.
I like that they bring Mr. Tumnus back because that means something.
Well, I think also like like you get to see them like, oh, here's the more of the crew. We're bringing everybody back, and so because when they show up, it's like right after the queen stabs Edmund, and it's like I think that's like, oh shit, everything's
falling
wrong.
apart.
But
Because
then
I mean, you don't really see anybody die. Like, you do, of course, during the battle, but like, you don't really see it until she turns that thing to stone. She turns that griffin to stone, and it falls, and it
shatters. Yeah.
and you can't breathe that back to life.
Well, I can.
Maybe he can. I don't know. And then, yeah, she, like, everything starts to go really, really wrong. And Edmund is like, this wand has got to go. Which I feel like, I don't feel like he made that much of a decision in the book. Like, in the movie, he's, like, was told to retreat. Like, he's going against, quote, orders or whatever. He's like, he's not king yet.
I think he goes for the wand in the book.
He definitely does go for the wand, but I don't remember if I feel like it's just like in the battle they're battling together and he sees an opportunity and goes for the wand, not like, I mean, like, it's all the same, I guess, really, just because like he was told to leave and then they're like, no, Edmund, don't, like, Peter told you to leave, like, not to go after him. Oh, Peter's not king yet.
Yeah, because Edmund's still kind of an indignant little shit in the book. I think that's like they break that up.
Yeah, but it's really good. His face off with Jadis is good, and that's a full fucking redemption arc right there.
Yeah.
Him fighting her, like,
and and then obviously she probably like mortally wounds him, but she doesn't kill him. Peter starts to defend, and then they show up.
Dual wield is really sick.
Yeah, but then Aslan shows up, does 1 pounce, and we get like a really great shot of her face. She doesn't look
it
as
almost
scared.
Looks like
she's accepting it.
Yeah, she's either accepting it or like she doesn't think he'll do it or something. Not like in a boastful way.
Yeah.
It's almost like she's finally seeing him because, one, she knows she's about to die, and it's like, you're finally seeing God, you're finally accepting it, you're forgiven. Like, it's almost
I don't
like
think that's how she would have done it, though. I think
no,
she would have been fucking terrified.
She would have been terrified. I
Yeah.
think, and she was in the book. I think she was. This movie just characterizes everybody,
Yeah.
and humanizes everybody a lot more, which works for most people. But Jadis really is like, she's not human.
No, she
doesn't have to be human. She's an evil bitch.
Right. And again, like, I think Tilda Swinton did a great job with the character as it was, but
Yes.
notes for Greta,
yes.
like, I want Jadis. I want emotionally unstable, terrified, frightened, ego blasting, she's the female embodiment of the patriarchy.
Yeah, she could have been human-esque once. She could have been a little girl, but it went wrong.
Yeah, it's just one of the, or like the way she's just she's very frantic about her choices, but also very, I don't know, just childish and definitive.
Yeah.
But basically, I mean, like, as soon as she dies, it's over.
Yeah, and you kind of see her body. I didn't ever really realize that, and I think that it's kind of on purpose. Because this movie was what, PG-13?
Yeah.
And they're showing just like a dead body. I was like, is that allowed? But she's wearing like all grayish white, and you don't see really any skin tone. You just see like the form of her dress, like her body, and it kind of just looks like a rock on the ground. But it's definitely not.
Maybe that's the idea.
And I think it was
Wizard
on
of Oz.
purpose. But like, it was, I was like, oh shit, like her body's just like right there behind him, and he's like, it is done, or whatever, it's over, or some shit.
Ooh.
And it's cool. I think it's just, they literally were like, let's speed this up. Like, everybody goes into fast motion except for Peter as he sees Aslan like chomp her head off or what the fuck ever happens.
Yeah, that was cool. Everybody was like swirling really quickly, and it was just like
because in the book it's like, and the battle wrapped up pretty quickly after that, and so it's just kind of showing
everyone went home and had bread.
just kind of showing that. And Lucy doesn't have to leave Edmund, which is sweet because they don't want the audience to have to leave Edmund.
Right.
So we get to see him come back from her little fire flower juice. And I like it. It's fine. And, you know, Aslan doesn't rush her. Again, they're making him even nicer. And, like, he's not so harsh. He's not like, do more people have to die for Edmund like he is in the book. Oh, God. No.
No.
He's not even God. He's Jesus.
But then it cuts to Cara Paraval.
Yep. And they get crowned.
Which is really sweet because like they have Tumnus crown Lucy.
Yeah, he crowns all of them.
That's why but like
he's like,
but they pay more attention to the look.
They really give a moment.
It's
for
so
him
sweet, like
putting
he's
that crown on her head,
humbled and proud of her, and like there's
everything.
Friendship and love. Yeah, it's really sweet. And then I wrote down the terms for them because they each get a direction.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Yeah, to the glistening eastern sea, Queen Lucy the Valiant. To the great western wood, King Edmund the Just. To the radiant southern sea, Queen Susan the Gentle. And to the clear northern sky, King Peter the Magnificent. And this is all Aslan speaking. And he says, once a king or queen of Narnia, always a king or queen. May your wisdom grace us until the stars rain down from the heavens.
Wow.
Right? Get a big hip hip hurrah. And then it cuts to Lucy looking over like the balcony of Aslan walking alone on the beach, just kind of like slowly. And it's a really beautiful shot. It's similar to the one that she just had with Mr. Tumnus. And then Tumnus, you know, like goes over and like all of a sudden he's like full of confidence and wisdom, and he's like, oh, you know, like he'll be back, and like you can't, he's not a tame lion, like you can't press him or whatever. And Lucy like asks him if he's a good lion, and Tumnus doesn't say yes or no. He literally just gives her hanky back that she had given him. And like I definitely wasn't crying at that point. Everybody else was, but
you need it more than me or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. And it's like, okay, but like then it cuts ahead to that time, you know, the time when they're like, I was like looking at the actors and I was like, they could be mid to late 20s, they could be 30s, but they could also have lived for hundreds of years and just look like they're in their 20s or 30s because it's Narnia. But like Lucy is the one who leads them back, and like, you know, she sees the spare on the lamppost, and Susan notices the coats, and like the way that they reverse in age, like the way they're talking about, you're stepping on my foot, like,
and they're having the same argument as they're having when they walk in.
Yeah, it's so cute. And then they like, but bam, are all of a sudden, like, it happens so quickly, that transition. And I think they did that really well, because I don't know, it seemed like it took they did elongate some parts, but then they're like, okay, well, we can just wrap this up quickly, because like I'm sure they knew that they're going to do other movies. We're going to get to see Cara Paraval like later on. Spoilers, but like
it says 15 years. They only ruled for 15 years, so she would only be 23, Lucy, and he would only be 28, Peter, as the oldest.
Okay, so yeah, so mid to late 20s or possibly, yeah.
So the golden age after the witch was only 15 years before they just disappeared one day.
Damn.
And then came back, what, like hundreds of years later? Spoilers.
Right.
We'll talk about that next time.
Right. So and they're found by the professor, and like, you know, at this point I was like, I wonder if the professor made it so they couldn't go back to Narnia.
Yeah, because he was like walking in there for some sort of reason.
Well, he had the cricket ball in his hand.
Yeah,
because they thought that Mrs. McCready was looking for them, but it was actually the professor. And you know, and they just have like a cute kind of like, what happened? I don't know. And
yeah,
then,
what are you doing in the wardrobe?
Right, and then it cuts to the credits, and they put Lucy's name first, which I love because she's the most important character.
Hey.
But then it quickly cuts back to the movie because I was like, oh, okay, and then it's Lucy again at nighttime trying to go to the wardrobe, and the professor is there, and he's like, tells her that she can't get back in that way because he's tried it himself, and that she should keep her eyes open. And then the final credits roll. So I feel like everything else we kind of already talked about. Characters staying true to their book forms. I think the beavers were the most noticeable.
difference?
Yeah, because Mr. Beaver was not the same.
He wasn't as likable.
No, the beavers didn't really have as much of an important part. They also did not get gifts from Santa.
No. And they even bring up the whole home thing when he's like, "Oh, my home," and he's like humble bragging about it, and he's like, "Oh," he says, "but it's not finished. Like it'll look grand when it's done and fixed or whatever." And so then it would be so great for Santa to say, "Oh, I fixed it," you know?
Yeah, and like having I don't know, like they got important positions in the court or whatever, and like it seems like they skirted over the animal characters and only focused on the human characters. So yeah, notes for Greta. We want to see the animal characters. We want to know their stories. I'm sure if I thought more about it, I could come up with suggestions for actors to play those roles, but it's just like at the end of the day, like who is gonna voice Aslan? Who's gonna do the best job? Like it's very difficult to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems like a big honor to bestow on somebody, and I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, I can't. I literally can't think of like anybody that I could. The only name that's coming to my head, and it's not a real suggestion, but it's just one of those things where your brain is like, "Bah, bah, bah," is literally Jim Broadbent. Is the professor. No, that's not a good Aslan. I'm Aslan! That was pretty alright. It's a pretty alright Slughorn. Saying I'm Aslan.
God, I know everybody that I'm thinking of in this moment is just like, it's just wrong answers only, basically. Like, and, you know,
Steve Buscemi.
I was thinking, like, you know, rest in peace, but like Gilbert Godfrey.
Russell Crowe. I don't know what Russell Crowe sounds like.
He's Australian.
Well, that's fine for Aslan. Aslan could be Australian.
No, I just was waiting to hear your Australian accent.
I just don't know what he's not. He sounds like this.
Yeah.
That's like Davy Jones.
Yeah. Overall, I think that this movie was very cute. It was very watchable. I'm excited to see the other ones. I also just think that there's, like, I don't know, I wasn't as dissatisfied watching this movie adaptation of a story as I have been with others. Like, there, you know, the things that they added in, with the exception of like singing Edmund on the Castle, I was like, come on. But other stuff I feel like was added to help it make sense for a younger generation of people. So they did a good job. I, you know, just if I wanted to watch
out of 1 to 5 Aslan roars.
Oh, yeah. Roar.
I would just one. You only give one roar. You don't have to roar each time, but you're out of 5.
I mean 4 out of 5 Aslan roars. Taking one away for
the castle scene.
For the castle scene, for a white person having dreads, and a third reason. That's it.
Yeah, I think I agree, except for the third reason. I don't agree with that one, but that's fine.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of A Lobster and His Boy, the movie version.
The movie film Lion Witch Wardrobe animated, non-animated live action feature for you.
Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed your evening or your morning or your afternoon lunch.
Enjoy the time.
Goodbye.
Bye. No chance, no way, I won't say it, no. Yes, will, yes, I won't deny it, I don't think I'm enough.